Hi everybody, it's Christina from Adventures in Polish Land. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Friday Reads to share with you. I have finished a couple books, I have a mini book haul, and then I feel like there's something else I wanted to tell you, but I can't remember what it is, so hopefully as I film this video I will remember it. First up is the reading update. I have finished Bastard Out of Carolina by Dorothy Allison. I ended up really enjoying this book, which is kind of weird to say because it is a very challenging read. It has some very gruesome scenes in it, very upsetting scenes in it, but overall it's a great read. I would recommend it if you like The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls or Fun Home by Allison Bechtel. It kind of goes along those lines. I gave this a 4-star rating. It is a fiction novel, but it leans semi-autobiographical. And now I'm currently reading Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. I'm almost done. Let's see. I have about 30 pages left, and then this edition that I have from the library has a critical essay at the back that I definitely will read along with some other bonus content, but I am loving this book. It is so well done, has a lot of tension to it just because of the way it's written, and I look forward to discussing this once I'm finished. I'm hoping there's going to be a happy ending, but I'm not sure, but this one's going really well. I did add 3 books to my TBR pile in this last week. As I mentioned in last week's Friday Reads video, I've been wanting to go book shopping, so I went to both Barnes & Noble and my local thrift store. At Barnes & Noble, I did end up picking up The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. I had first heard about this from Greg over at Supposedly Fun. Then Russell over at Ink and Paper blog mentioned it, and then all of a sudden it was everywhere, and I feel like this book is having a big spike in popularity right now, so I decided to buy it brand new because the list at the library to get a copy is very, very long. Very long. I couldn't believe how many people were on the hold list, so I decided to buy myself a copy, and hopefully I will get to this sooner rather than later. I forget what it's about, but I do know it's told through letters, which I always love, so this should be a good read. Then at the thrift store, I picked up 2 books. The first one is a New York Review of Books classic. This is The Furies by Janet Hobhouse with an introduction by Daphne Merkin. I knew nothing about this, but I am reading books from this publisher right now to try them out, and I found this one for $1 at the thrift store, so I decided to pick it up. This one is actually nonfiction. I haven't read any nonfiction from this publisher yet, so I figured this was a great pickup for $1, and it sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. It is a memoir. It says it's an exhilarating, fiercely honest, ultimately devastating book. The Furies confronts the claims of family and the lure of desire, the difficulties of independence, and the approach of death. So, sounds like a very intriguing memoir. And then finally, I got Lock In by John Scalzi. This is a little mass market paperback. I had heard about this over a decade ago. Little story time. I think I mentioned to you all before that I actually had a booktube channel back when I was in law school, uploaded videos as a hobby, and then I quit after law school was over and deleted that channel. But long story short, there was another booktuber who started around the same time as I did. Her name was Lindsay Ray. She got very, very popular here on BookTube very quickly, and I think it's because she read a lot of books and she also reviewed them very well. And so whenever she would mention a book, it had a tendency to become pretty popular, and this was one of them. And I don't remember all that much about the book except that there's, I think, a disease that causes people to get locked into their bodies where they can't move their body but their brain is still working. So I had always kept this in the back of my mind as something I wanted to read, and it all stemmed from Lindsay's videos. And unfortunately, she no longer posts here on YouTube, but I still follow her on Instagram, so that's fun to see her every now and then. But I found this for $3, and it's in really good condition. I don't typically buy mass markets unless they are vintage Stephen King books, but the time to buy it is when you see it, so I grabbed it. Other updates from me: earlier this week, I posted a discussion video about Housemaid of Dawn by N. Scott Momaday. So if you're interested in my thoughts on that book, I will leave that linked in the description box below. I also remembered what I wanted to tell you, and that is I started a Pango Books account. Pango is similar to eBay, but it's just for books. So as you know, I declutter a lot of the books that I read just because I only keep a book if I think I'm going to reread it in the future. And so usually what I do is I'll send them off to Powell's or to Sell Back Your Book, which I still plan to continue doing that, but you have to have a minimum for your order. So I figured in the meantime I would list the books on Pango, and I will leave my Pango account linked in the description box as well. If you're interested in buying any of my books, you can head on over there and see what I have to offer. I only have a few listed, but they're all books that I've read and am not planning to reread, but that doesn't mean they're not good books. So figured I would let you know that as well. I hope you are all having a great week. We are expecting more snow here in the Northeast, which I could do without, but I am hoping to have a nice restful weekend. I gotta get a lot of work done though. And then next week's going to be a very busy week for me. My mom is having an emergency eye surgery, so I will be helping to care for her. I don't know how much reading I will get done, but I will be putting her as my first priority, of course. And that's about it for me right now. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're reading some good books, and let me know what else you're up to. I will see you in my next video. Bye.